It is officially the first day of MLB The Show 22 with that early access April 1st here today. And to start us off here, we're going to go through and break down every brand new collection reward here in MLB The Show 22 Diamond Dynasty. Between the live series collection, a couple of legend flashback collections, we got a lot to go through. Let's hop in. We'll start with our live series collection, break down all these rewards. I'll give you my thoughts on them. Tell you which ones I'm gonna be going after first as an all money spin player. These team by team ones, we will go really quickly through. First off here, Willie McCovey, 110 power versus right. Not too shabby. Onto the Padres, we do get a 93 overall Tony Gwynn here. Unfortunately, 36 power on both sides of the plate. Not gonna play incredibly well with the current meta of the game. You knew we were gonna get a cracked out one for the Dodgers. We got MVP with the new MVP card style here, Kirk Gibson. Definitely a really good left fielder here. Lots of outfield options, but Kirk Gibson probably one of the best ones we got early game. The Rockies, we get a nice 84 overall. Larry Walker, decent fielding. Not a whole lot of power to go with this one, though. Onto the D-backs. Surprisingly, a diamond reward here. We got Brandon Webb, and not a whole lot of hits for 9, but some decent stamina. Sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter. Not a bad pitch mix. Could be a solid card, but probably going to be outclassed by quite a few options. For the Cardinals here, we got Lee Smith. Not a bad option for the back end of your bullpen early on in this game. 4-seam slider, cutter, forkball. Can be tough to find solid relievers. Lee Smith could be one of those. Onto the Pirates. You know one going to be a great card for the Pirates. We got an 82 overall here, Willie STARGELL. The Brewers got a lot of diamonds. Got a 90 overall Robin Yount as a reward. Unfortunately, 60 and 65 power Robin Yount cards usually are my favorite. Probably not one that's getting a lot of playing time for me. Onto the Reds. We got a Tony PEREZ card. Not too bad, but nothing that really jumps off the page here with Tony PEREZ. Rounding out the NL Central, we got a Kyle Hendricks here for the Cubs. Sinker, changeup, 4-seam, curveball. Not a bad pitch mix. Decent per nimes. Could be a solid little card, especially if we're using it in some sort of events or things of that nature. NL East now, we got Steven Strasburg here for the Nationals. 74 hits per 9. Probably not going to play too bad, but a nice solid diamond starter. Phillies, we got a solid third base option in Mike Smith. 87 overall, 107 contact left, 90 power left. Really good option versus lefties. Could be a solid platoon with a guy like face of the franchise, Devers. The Mets, we had to get a good one. We did get a good one. Gary Carter, probably one of the best catchers in the game early on. 96 overall, 109 contact left, 108 power left. This Gary Carter looks really solid. Probably going to be seeing him at catcher for quite a few teams here out the gate. Onto the Marlins, we're getting 84 Gary Sheffield. Not a bad card by any of the stretch of the matter, but not going to be one we're seeing a whole lot. Finally, the Braves, we're locking down 94 overall Hank Aaron. Pretty solid hitting attributes across the board with some decent fielding. Could be a really sneaky outfield option early on in the game, but it's going to come at a pretty penny having to collect all the Braves. Onto the American League now, we got Mike Napoli for the Rangers. 84, 84, 92, 91. Going to be tremendous value in this card. Going to play very well. You're going to be seeing Mike Napoli as a very popular catcher option. We could see Rangers cards be inflated in price because of that. Mariners, we're going to get 85 Edgar Martinez. Unfortunately, no power. Not going to be a super popular card. Onto the A's, we got 82 Raleigh Fingers. Could see him a little bit in the bullpen. Not much usability here, though. Solid reward here for the Angels. It's going to be a pricey one, but we do have 95 overall Troy Glaus. Going to be a really great third baseman out the gate. 102, 118 power. Going to play pretty well. Onto the Astros, we're getting Cy Young. We can see the brand new Cy Young card art there with Dallas Keuchel. 91 hits per 9, not bad. And sinker, slider, changeup, cutter, 4-seam. Pretty solid pitch mix, a little slow velocity-wise, but I think a starting pitcher we could get a lot of use out of early on in the game. Onto the White Sox, we got brand new legend Ray Durham here. Switch hitting, 88, 92 on the contact, 67, 65 on the power. A little low on the power, but he could be a guy who, if he has a good swing with that switch hitting ability, could be a pretty sneaky card and a solid option early on in the game. Onto the Guardians, we have 88 overall Jim Thome. Really solid first base option. Can hit both sides of the plate. Really balanced hitter. Could be a guy who possibly makes my lineup. To the Tigers now, we have 81 overall Hal Newhouser. I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot of this card very much. Orioles getting a diamond reward here in Eric Hosmer. Unfortunately, 67, 53 power. Not going to play too great. First base defense doesn't really matter, but still a nice diamond reward here for the Royals. Onto the Twins, we get our first look at Justin Morneau. Not a bad option here for the Twins. Really excited to see what more Morneau cards we get in the future of this game. To the Blue Jays, we got 91 Tom Hankey. Personally, not been a fan of these Tom Hankey cards very much in this game, but early on could be a really solid reliever. With the Rays, we have Jose Alvarado, a card that I do like, especially 104 hits per 9 out the gate. He's going to come in with the velocity as well. Maybe not the best pitch mix, maybe not a lot of control, but could be a really great lefty early on. The Yankees, we got 89 Gary Sanchez. A couple good catchers here in the American League between Mike Napoli and this Gary Sanchez. They're going to play really, really well. I'm going to be rocking this Gary Sanchez in my lineup. On to the Red Sox, we got our first look at brand new legend Kevin Youkilis. Not a bad card, especially versus righties. Lacks a little bit versus lefties, but with solid defense as well. Definitely a very usable card. Lastly, for the Orioles, we got Darren O'Day, which honestly, with the funky delivery, the pitch mix, I personally love Darren O'Day cards. His live series is always one of my favorite BR picks. This Darren O'Day card may be rocking in my bullpen for a little bit. On to the National League West. You collect all 5 teams. We're going to get this Kenley Jansen 96 overall. 100 hits per 9s, cutters, slider, sinker. If you like Kenley Jansen cards, you're going to like this 96 Kenley. He's going to be a dominant force in the bullpen early on. NL Central now, we got this all-star Prince Fielder back again. He's going to swing a big stick. He's going to have a little bit less contact, but that power is going to play. If you want a nice lefty first base bat, Prince is going to be your guy early on. NL East, we got our first look at a brand new legend here, Chase Utley, which for second base can be a thin position. This Chase Utley looks sweet. I love lefty hitters. I'm guessing he has a nice swing. He's got great defense. This Chase Utley will be my second baseman for quite some time once I unlock him. NL East may be one of the first divisions I go after with some of these rewards. On to the AL West, we got one of my favorite players of all time. I don't care what you say. It's Big Michael Young. 76 power both sides is a little lacking, but I mean, hey, get him paralleled up. He gets that 80 threshold, has really cracked out contact. Michael Young could be a sneaky card. I'm glad we're getting home nice and early. First look at that brand new SIG series card art as well. Hot. AL Central, we're getting here Grady Sizemore. Gonna play pretty well. I love Grady Sizemore cards that played well for me in the past. Really solid option. Outfield's gonna be a tough decisions early on in this game. Between the face of the franchise, guys like Grady, gonna be some tough choices to make. Finally, here in the AL East, we have another brand new legend with Mike MUSSINA. He's got the sinker, four-seam, knuckle curve, cutter, slider, pitch mix. Really, really, really good pitch mix. Lacks a little bit on the hits per 9. Maybe you could get another better card down the line that can give him a 99, because that 82 hits per 9 is probably going to get outclassed pretty quickly. But early game, going to have a really solid pitch mix to carry your early game rotation. Now we get to the juice. We collect all of our National League cards, and we're getting a day 1 Roberto Clemente this year. I am super hyped about that. 125 contact both sides to go along with 81 power versus right, 85 power left. Essentially maxed out fielding and 72 speed. I think early on in this game, Roberto Clemente is going to be a force. I was absolutely terrible with Clemente last year. I'm hoping that him being released earlier in the game this go around will help me be a little bit better with him. I'm hoping to be good with Clemente this year. I love Jackie this last year. Clemente in this game looking pretty similar. I imagine as people unlock Clemente, he's going to be a pretty standard outfield option in that center field or right field spot. On to the AL, we got Frank Thomas. A little bit of a worse version than Frank Thomas than we've gotten in the past, but honestly, not the worst thing due to the fact that he is being released so early in the game. They want to keep some balance to it. Frank Thomas, though, I personally have been really hit or miss with his cards in the past, so I'm not sure how I'll do with this one, but the attributes do speak for themselves. 109, 105, 105, 125. He's gonna knock down everything at first base, even with 57 fielding. If I can get his swing down this year, maybe he has one of those guys who has a slightly adjusted swing, I'll be rocking Frank Thomas for some time at first base. Now, of course, you collect both of those, Clemente and Frank Thomas, for the big daddy of them all, Randy Johnson, the hard-throwing lefty. He's got to come at you with 105 hits per 9 and 125 Ks per 9 with some of those changes to the PCI this year, with how your PCI inner and outer shrinks as you get outside of the zone. Randy Johnson could be inducing a lot of swings and misses this year compared to what we would see from a pitcher in the past, especially as we get to that Hall of Fame and Legend difficulty where PCI is going to be smaller. Our outer vision-based PCI is going to be smaller. We get to the outside corners of the strike zone, it's going to shrink even more. It'd be tough to make really solid contact with this Randy. We'll be interested to see how he plays. Of course, you got the 4-seam, the slider, the splitter, the slurve, the 2-seam. Slurve coming in at 81, and that 4-seam at 99 is going to be a hot speed differential. I'm a swing and miss at every single slurve that is thrown by this Randy Johnson card. That is a guaranteed. Also unlikely I ever get a hit off of him with a lefty. Both of those are just truth. Randy looks sick, looks like a really awesome early game pitcher without being too OP for the course of the season. A awesome, great day one option. Of course, we have some other collections as well. 96 Joe Mauer is available here day one. If you collect all 12 former cover athletes in this pack, you're going to unlock a 96 overall MLB The Show 11 Joe Mauer cover athlete diamond. He looks absolutely incredible at the catcher position. If you use Joe Mauer in past games, you know he's got one of those glitchy swings. Joe Mauer could be a really awesome option at catcher this year, especially early on in the game in a position that can be thin. If you can unlock Joe Mauer quick, you're going to be rocking him for some time. Collecting 25 prospects is going to get you another catcher as well. This time we are looking at Adley Rutschman, 90, 91, 80, 78 top prospect. Hopefully we get to see him play in the major leagues this year, and he can get a cool card to commemorate that. But for now, Adley is looking really nice at that catcher position. If you liked Future Star Adley last year, this is probably going to be a catcher you want to target really early on in this year's game. And at 25 prospects, there's one gold prospect from each team. You go through, you do your mini seasons, you do your USA Conquest, you're going to get really close to unlocking that Adley very early on in the game. As well, we got some more Legend and Flashback collections out the gate. You collect 10 rookie cards, you're going to get a rookie Mark Pryor, 4-seam slurve, changeup, curveball. Nothing that really jumps off the page, but a nice collection buffer. You get some reward. And then when future collections come around for Legend and Flashbacks, having a guy like Mark Pryor definitely going to have some value. On the veteran side of things, collecting 10 veterans, that'll get you Andrelton Simmons. You're not going to be using this card very much, but again, another collection piece that you just add to your inventory. We locked down 15 all-star cards, and we will get this 85 Joe Nathan, who I think has some solid potential. 97 hits per 9 is going to be pretty good early on in the game. 4-seam slider, 12-edge changeup cutter. Solid pitch mix. I like this Joe Nathan quite a bit. Probably going to be a card we see quite a bit early on in the game as people acquire their all-star cards to complete this collection. Lastly here, 15 breakout cards. That's going to give you this Dave Parker. Not a whole lot of usability here with the lack of power, but still just another nice collection option. Some early theme teams, things of that nature. I like this Dave Parker. I like this as an option, and cool to see more Legend and Flashback collections early on in the game. Seems like that's definitely going to be something that has a ton of focus for this year's game cycle. So there you have it. Those are the brand new collections in MLB The Show 22. You let me know down in the comment section below, what collection are you going to be going after first in this game? For me, I gotta get my hands on that Roberto Clemente. I'm hoping he can lock down an outfield spot for me for some time. As always, though, y'all enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're gonna have a ton of videos coming out on the channel. This is the first video you're gonna be seeing here on launch day. We're gonna have 3 more videos coming out today. We got about 3 videos planned every day, at least for the first week. So definitely be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the channel. That support goes a long way as we're pumping out all this content here in MLB The Show 22, and allows me to do this right here, pump out all this content, the tips, the tricks, the gameplays. We got it all coming. As always, until next time, I'll catch y'all around.